Body horror as a genre is often associated with visceral, disgusting, and excessively gory experiences. It has a reputation for testing people's tolerance for visual violence because of its use of mutilation and body modification as narrative devices. Raw, the movie that made me love the horror genre, is, however, a prime example of a body horror movie with symbolism. The best body horror movies of all time use body horror elements to answer a question through their depiction of harrowing bodily experiences metaphorically. The consequences of having a human body have intrigued storytellers from time immemorial, and the body horror genre is the most prominent, promising, and potent remnant of this age-old curiosity in the film industry today. David Cronenberg has inspired a host of body horror movies with his innovative use of body horror elements to explore psychosexual themes. His filmography has a significant range. A 2025 body horror movie reminds me of his use of the genre's traits to explore soft human emotions that we don't normally associate with it. Dave Franco and Alison Brie play Tim and Millie, respectively, a couple who move to the countryside after an impromptu proposal. The challenges of living in nature soon make themselves felt, but the two of them decide to explore the surroundings one fateful day. After spending the night inside a hole, they wake up and start experiencing inexplicable bodily phenomena. Together follows the couple's journey as they deal with new challenges. Each partner's skin starts sticking to the other's at random times of the day in unpredictable areas, and for an excruciating period of time, as it is painful to separate after that happens. What starts out as a confusing premise soon evolves into full-blown body horror. The couple starts losing independence as one person becomes invisibly connected to the other, even without contact at times, making it impossible to do things alone. Tim gets thrashed around his shower when Millie drives one day. So, the body horror here metaphorically represents their codependency, which always existed in their relationship long before they moved to the countryside. By turning the emotional experience of codependency into a literal phenomenon, the movie makes its narrative accessible and is also able to deliver its message directly, since the visual cues ensure you're not missing any of the hints. Together's glowing reviews, including its 90% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes, prove that the use of body horror is effective for viewers. Despite depicting disturbing, uncomfortable phenomenon, Together never feels too visceral or horrifying. You're compelled by the couple's predicament, even as you physically cringe and look away when they use household tools to pry each other free. In fact, you're invested in their relationship and their individual emotional well-being, even as the body horror-related stakes gradually grow with time. Together is able to achieve this effect because its use of body horror is minimalistic and intended to complement the couple's central conflict in the movie. You would not want to be in this romantic horror movie because the situation itself is harrowing, but you'll eventually find yourself rooting for the couple's relationship to survive the turmoil, since you're invested. This level of investment, especially on such a fundamental and emotional level, would likely be difficult if the movie were self-indulgent with displays of body mutilation and violence, as is often the case with this genre. There is enough shown to make you uncomfortable and impress the symbolism on you, but the display is intriguing rather than terrifying. The ending of Together is a moment of triumph for Tim and Millie's relationship, marked by an unexpected twist that is shocking at first, but becomes refreshing the more you think about it. It's difficult to find movies about couples going through really difficult times that don't somehow incorporate an arc of infidelity, but Together evades that pitfall using body horror. The situation is so specific to Tim and Millie as a couple that it would neither logically make sense for the characters to become disloyal to each other, nor for the movie to shift its focus away from the two of them. The body horror is rooted in the innate challenges of a relationship, which makes the triumphant ending work.